Hey, and welcome to the Drive and Dish podcast. We're here for December the 16th to give our college basketball picks for the day. We first need to recap our December the 15th picks. We had a pretty good day, 3-1 overall on the day, 4-1 overall on the day, which put our overall record at 64, 46, and 1. We had the lone loss with Tulsa minus the one. Wichita State was just too good, and we're about to lose faith in Tulsa being a very good team. Wichita State pretty much dominated the game from the start. Southeast Missouri State did not play well, but they played well enough to get the cover versus Evansville. Louisiana Tech, like we thought, dominated Jackson State with a big win and covered that big spread of 14.5. That was another winner. Southern Miss +5 was a better team than Lamar, and they showed it, so the +5 was a winner. And last but not least, in a great game, which we knew it would be, Furman ended up covering the +6.5 versus Alabama. Did get out to a big lead, could not hold on for the win, and Alabama made a nice late push in there to overcome Furman and get the win, but not the cover. So Furman +6.5 was a winner for us. So a 4-1 day, 64, 46, and 1 overall in my picks so far this year. Dynamite David gave us some picks. He had two winners in Kansas State plus the 8 over Iowa State, a really good pick there, and an even better pick, Virginia Tech minus the 2.5 versus Clemson was another winner. His lone loss was Alabama, who couldn't quite get that cover versus Furman, so that put him at 2-1. He is slowly creeping into 500 territory. He's at 4-5 on the year. Not a lot of picks so far this year, as he's trying to pull double duty right now. We'll get him fully on college basketball after this week and the college football season comes to an end. Be sure to check out our Football Time podcast for all your college football picks that will drop later today. We're about to record that right after I get off of here. All right, so what do we got today? A light slate, not a ton of picks for me, but we got three games I like today. We're going to start off with Butler plus the 12.5. Hard to get a gauge on Butler. Only played one game, a 4-point win versus Western Michigan, who's not a very good team. But this 12.5 seems a little bit high for a pretty good Butler team who's expected to compete for this Big Eastern Conference. So we like the 12.5 in a really good game. Villanova has played good basketball, the lone loss being the overtime loss to Virginia Tech. But they've seemed to be around this number, only a 13-point win versus Georgetown. Texas was a 4-point win. Arizona State was an 11-point win. Boston College was a 9-point win. So they're always around this. So that 12.5-point number we think will cover there for sure. Next up, we have Ohio State plus the 5.5. We really think this Ohio State team is undervalued at 5-0. Wins over Notre Dame, a real good win there so far. And I just think they're undervalued. I think they're a really good team this year. I think they're going to compete in this Big Ten. Former Butler coach. So we're on a Butler vibe this week. Chris Holtmann coaches Ohio State, and we really like the way he does things. And on the other side of things, we think this Purdue team is a little overrated. Losses to Clemson and Miami, Florida. Their wins have been Liberty, Oakland, Valpo, and Indiana State. So we just like Ohio State here getting the points. We think they're the better team, and it'll show out here. And last but not least, we couldn't go through this with picking all big-time basketball teams. We're going to pick Troy plus the 2 versus Samford in a not scintillating game. Lower 200 teams ranked here in the KenPom rankings, but we think Troy is the better team here. Nice wins over Western Carolina and North Alabama. Losses to UNC Wilmington, Texas Tech, and UAB, all much better teams than them. Samford, on the other hand, has been really poor. Losses to Georgia and Alabama A&M. So we think this Troy team will be able to cover that one and get the win here on their home floor. All right, so let's go to Dynamite David's text-in picks for the day. Villanova, he has Villanova minus the 12.5 versus Butler. He's also riding with Purdue minus the 5.5. He had a nice little Princeton win earlier today. So we'll see if that hot streak continues from yesterday into today. That's our show. Be sure to follow us on all our podcasts on greenlightnetwork.org. Me and Achilles Rain just broke down the last NFL Week 14's games. And like I said earlier, me and David are doing our college football podcast, and Achilles Rain will join me for our NFL Picks podcast on Thursday. A new Know It All podcast will come out Friday. And as always, the Drive and Dish every day. Be sure to follow and subscribe us at greenlightnetwork.org on our Facebook page. That's our show, and we're out.